So yeah, let's get down to business. We have some people now. So feel free to mute your this thing in case you have some things going on there. Yeah, so that we don't distract. Let me off my ugly face here. Okay. Yeah. Can everyone see my screen now?
Hello.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Please record.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
I'm recording.
Thank you.
You're not welcome. I got recording. Yeah, so today's day one. Yeah, so today we it's kind of be it would be just a bit basic AWS and because like I said earlier, we'll be doing our infrastructure. We'll be using AWS cloud environment to to do the labs and all the necessary stuff. So, I just want to introduce you guys again. If you want to learn more on AWS, I recommend going for those doing like Udemy training. They really treat AWS courses very well. I mean, I recommend it than even going for like training, physical training, like watch those videos, because some things are just theoretical that you have to know that, okay, this is how they use DynamoDB, this is what they call RDS database. Some things are just pure theory that those videos are very good. Some are like 12 hours, 14 hours. You don't have to watch it on a seat. You can take your time, watch it, take maybe a week or whatever, 1 hour, 2 hours every day. And so I strongly recommend Udemy, to learn more on AWS. As of today, AWS have up to 200 services. It's a lot. Like, I'm not sure if I know half of their services. They have so much services that does different things, a lot. So, but the one that we use there, no company use all their services too. In most cases, company use their the EC2, which is the server, which is the AWS server, to host their infrastructure. They use maybe some of their databases, storage, like S3 bucket, and there are some services that are very popular, which we will touch a little bit there. If you really want to get certification, go to those Udemy. I can give you recommendation. That's what I used to do my AWS certification. But again, this class is not focusing on cloud. We're not going inside AWS. So we are doing DevOps, specifically, DevOps tools and other stuff. The rest so whatever you need to know on AWS to do this class, we're going to treat it, explain everything and how they all work together. So yeah, let's get started. Again, this is for some of us that are not here the last time. So this is the overview. Okay, yeah, this is the overview of how the class will look like, the class structure, as you can see. Let me put this on the slideshow. Okay, from colors. Yeah, so this is the overview of the class and it's fully remote to be on. We'll be using Zoom or through question and answer anytime. If you don't want to talk, you can just type something in the comment section. At any point. We are not on the same level in this. I know few of you guys have taken like a cloud practitioner, so you have some basic knowledge on AWS already there. Some of us, might still need some time to catch up and stuff. So feel free to ask any question at any point, and let's make it very interactive. We are all friends here, so nobody it's just a timing that makes me kind of more ahead of you guys. So it's just a matter of time. I started before you guys. That's just the difference. So no one knows it all, and we can learn from each other at any point. So by this time next year now, you guys will be guru. Also, so it's just a matter of timing. So yeah, these are the overview of the class structure and what we'll be covering. And for week one, these are some of the things we touch. We do cloud, AWS. We do some lab on AWS. We talk about DevOps, CI/CD. We're going to do lab on Git, which is very, very important too on AWS. Then we're going to do some Linux command, which is very, very important. Again, we'll be using Linux environment. Your computer, most of us use Windows. We are used to Windows. To go on your desktop, click, move file, delete file, right click, delete file, and stuff like that. In Linux environment is completely, it's command line, basically, and that's one of the reasons why it's very secure, very safe. They use it mostly to host web application, more preferable to Windows. So, it's very important. So we interact on a command line. I will show you how a command line looks like. There's no big deal there. You learn some of the basic one that you need, and we talk about that as well later this week, maybe by Sunday also. Then we do some lab on it. You see how everything work, how to copy file, how to do all this thing. Yeah. So again, today we're just going to talk about cloud AWS services. We're going to create accounts. I'm going to show you how you can create an account, sign up, launch instances, SSH, log into the instances you launch. Instances is just a server on AWS. That's the name they call it. I will show you on the console and how everything looks like. But there's no big deal there, So these are things we'll cover today, and so I want you guys to have idea. Again, this is my profile. You don't nothing serious here. Yeah. So yeah. Also, at some point, David is also an engineer. Is on this call. He was not here last time, so he's also into cloud and into tech training. So he will be assisting. He's very good in Linux and other stuff. So at some point, he might come up, and also, I may invite some guys that are also working in the field to come at some point to, to maybe take a class or have conversation with you guys or anything, just to make it. Yeah. So okay, understanding cloud computing, again, we talk about this on Sunday. It's just refers to like servers, or not just servers. It could be anything. It could be databases, storage system, anything on the cloud that you can't. Just like you have your iCloud, you can store some picture, and you can download it at any point. That's just a cloud, or maybe Google Drive or whatever. Those are just cloud. But what happens is that you don't need to provision them. You don't need to have put them on your phone. In that case, in case of like Google Drive or maybe iCloud, you don't need to put the picture on your phone. You don't need to download it. It's just right there, on the cloud with Google or maybe with Apple. So that's just cloud in the nutshell, in the high level. So, the same thing with server too, just like I explained the other day. Your server, it's easier, it's less costly, for, maybe small company, even big company, to host their infrastructure, If you've seen a data center before, or maybe a server room, what they call server room, it's a lot. They need all these networking engineers, administrator, people that, the servers to be running 24/7. If there's a rat that just went through maybe one of the cable, everything is gone. Like the whole website is down. Imagine if it is maybe Amazon websites that is down for maybe an hour, or maybe sometimes I read Google and YouTube will be down for like an hour or 30, everybody go crazy. Like those things, it's a lot to maintain them, to keep them running all the time because they have millions, billions of traffic coming in every time. So cloud adoption is very, very high these days. Everybody migrating every day. So that makes it very, so deployment models, I didn't talk about, these are the three main, how you can deploy your infrastructure or server. Infrastructure can refer to, it could be server, it could be anything, that you have. Server is, again, is just like a computer, but high capacity computer, it has a CPU, it has a memory, everything. That's just a server. They use that instead of, when you have your application, you install it on your laptop, and stuff like that. The same thing, web application, they install it on the server and it has to be running every time. If not, no one will be able to access it. So, imagine you just have your computer on 24/7, no shutdown, no nothing. It's very crazy. And, these people operate at a very large scale. So, yeah, some of the differences between cloud and on-premises, again, on-premises is when you have like your server in a particular place in the room. That means you maintain it, you buy it, you go to the market, you buy it physically. It could be as expensive as $10,000, $20,000, the big ones, so you have to buy it, put it in that room and, start, then put your application on it and they start using it. But in case of cloud now, you only pay for what you use. You can just say, okay, I want this capacity. If you don't need it again, the following week, you shut it down. You're not paying anything again. And that's it. Maybe you just want to test something. You want to see how your application works, or, you don't need to go and buy it. You can just, go to Amazon, just saying, okay, I need this capacity of memory for my server to do this, and, the provisioning. So it makes life easier. Again, I talk about scalability. It makes them to be able to scale, talking about Netflix the other day, and some Uber, Airbnb, those people, they operate at extremely high capacity. They work on cloud to be able to meet such demand, such crazy traffic they receive. So they can scale, they can be, some of them have like thousands of servers running at the same time, thousands. So, what happened, your traffic will go to this server, another person, there will be like what they call load balancer that will kind of like share the traffic, So it's because one computer cannot handle all the traffic. So they split all the work among maybe 500 or 1,000 servers running at the same time. Imagine if you have to put all those things together yourself, unless you are rich, like you are operating in the level of like Google, or Facebook or some, all those crazy people that can afford that. It's extremely, not practical, especially when you are operating at such level. So scalability, it's when you have it on premises, cost, more expensive because you have to buy, but in cloud, just pay for what you use and that's it. So these are some of the, so these are the top cloud provider we have in the market. You see the Amazon is, AWS is number one. This is from Statista. I think this 2020, late last year. You see the AWS is number one. That's why we are going with AWS in this class. Again, you don't need to, at this point, you don't need to stress yourself, go into multi-cloud. There are so many things you have to learn on AWS alone, in DevOps field alone. So, I wouldn't recommend you just, even me at this point, I'm still, 100 on AWS, and you can't even exhaust the job that are on AWS alone. So, and in most cases, even if once they know you have, even most of the job you even see to be like, cloud experience with cloud, it could be AWS, they will put Azure, they put Google. So to be either of the three, they just want, you understand? If you know one, you are good. So, but the one just be very good at it, because they are Azure to us, crazy, a lot of service, very good. Then following by Google. Google is kind of a bit down compared to other two. It's AWS and Azure that is leading the services. But as you can see, these are the you see AWS lead 130 billion cloud market. It's a very big field, So and and the AWS again is Amazon Web Server, and that's what it means, and is the leader in the cloud service, and that's why we are using that in this class. So, any questions so far? So
okay. Question like the deployment module that we talk about. You talk about the cloud on premises. What about the hybrid?
Okay, hybrid is a situation where again, in some even most of the companies that work on cloud, they still have some of their infrastructure on premises. You understand? So there's a way you can connect those ones you have on premises to the cloud. These people have so many things. I was just talking about server alone. There are other things like databases are there, storage system. There are so many things that make up an application to be running. There are so many things. It's not just a server. Server is just this thing. There's storage. There's the database that store your data and other stuff. Maybe you enter your username, password, all those things. There's a database. Putting those information, on and that's connected to the server. So there's so many infrastructure. So what happens? Some company work in hybrid mode in the sense that they work both on premises and on cloud. They have like cloud. In fact, I think one of the clients I work with, they work, it's their healthcare company. They work in that model. They work on AWS. They have AWS resources. Some of their destiny are on AWS, then some are in their server, in their local server, maybe their database. So what happened is that some of the company, they started off because cloud is just started coming up and stuff like that. I think 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I don't think cloud is as crazy as this. So those companies already have a lot of their stuff on premises running. Now they are migrating to the cloud. It's a lot of work. It's something that can take 6 months. It's a big project. They hire people to even do some of those migrations. Very huge. So it's not something they can just do overnight and just move everything down to the cloud. So it can be gradual process. They can move some to the cloud and some will remain on their premises. Then there's a way they can when you take all this AWS application, they will teach you how you can connect some services from your own premises to the cloud, and they will talk to each other. It will be like they are together, and they are in different spectrum completely. So that's what happened in the case of hybrid. And also some company like healthcare or maybe financial company, they have a lot of compliances. Compliances is like regulation, like government regulation that, okay, they can say that, okay, this certain information, these certain resources must not be on the public cloud. You must not put them on AWS. It's a regulation. If they do that, they can find them and stuff like that. So what happens is that they will have some that doesn't have such regulation. They will be running on cloud. Then whereas other ones that must not go to the cloud can be on their premises, on their local server. So again, they will find a way to link them together and then make everything work. And that is hybrid. Thank you for point. I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, and that's hybrid. It's just like just like hybrid car, gas and electricity, power, and the battery. Yeah, so that's hybrid. So again, many of them you hardly see even company that's 100% on cloud. I mean, some are 100% there. Some can be 80% on cloud, then they will still be running few services on premises. So again, these are some of the comparison. Yeah, okay, is that clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So these are some of the comparison to the right. If you can see, all these things, the products, again, they are just named. This is AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. Most of them are just names, For example, now for a server, AWS call it instances, which is something, it's part of our lab that we are going to do tonight. So they call it instances. On Azure, they call it virtual machines, on Google Cloud, they call it VM instances. So all of them, it's just the name. So if you actually know one cloud services, it's very easy. I mean, I've never learned Azure before, and I've done few things there. The same thing with Google Cloud, because I just know that, okay, this is the server, this is the name of the, the name is the main thing that will just make you, and once you are good with that, and that's it, same thing with this one they call Lambda. Lambda is like a serverless computing this thing. We'll not really be dealing with Lambda in this class. It's for serverless this thing. They put code there and they trigger. Azure call it Azure function, Google call it cloud function. So you see again, they almost do the same thing. This particular serverless computing, if you say the product here. So, but again, they have different names to it, and that's it. And most companies believe if you know one, you'll be able to transfer the knowledge to the other. So, again, you don't need to jump from cloud to cloud, especially at the early stage. Maybe when you become much confidence in one, you can explore and say, okay, let me see what Azure is all about and stuff. So, yeah, and again, this is 2019 data here, AWS, they came earlier than other markets, so they've been dominating for long. So introduction to AWS. So again, we're using AWS 100% in this class to do our stuff and they run everything. So it started in 2006, way back, so it has a lot of services like compute power, database, content delivery, and everything. So Amazon Web Services is the name, AWS. So, and these are some of the common AWS services that we have. This is more like a group, each of them has so many things there. Again, I think AWS have close to 200 different services. Like it's a lot. Like, I mean, a lot of them, I just know them. I know what they do. Like I've never used some of them before, never, because there are so many things, So for compute service, which is one of their biggest this thing, compute services, just like a server, just like computer, and some of the service they have there is EC2, which we're going to see shortly. We have Lambda, we have Badge, we have different, I think there are about five of them for compute service. For storage, we have S3 bucket, we have EBS. S3 bucket is something, we show as well. And, you see, it's more like all this, like maybe Google Drive, Google Drive, but it's very popular AWS service. You can store your picture there. You can do so many things there. It's very cool. Yeah, so, and it's a public service. So databases as well, RDS, relational databases, that's a little bit beyond this class. You learn that once you start learning this thing. They have so many networking and delivery. We do a little bit of networking. You see how everything talk to each other. Then security tools, developer, these are just groups. The services alone are there are a lot. I will show you in the console when we log in to the service. So, but yeah, these are some of the, then Elastic Cloud Compute, Elastic Compute Cloud, they call it EC2. It's one of the most common AWS service, very common. And again, it's the server, just like your computer. When we get on the console, we're going to start our own server from AWS. You see everything. Matter of fact, we can start a Windows server. I think I will do that later on because I have my Mac. I'm using my Mac now. Even though you see, you can start a Windows server, then you see that this is a real Windows computer. You put memory that you want there. Okay, I want 5 gig. You put the CPU limit that you want. It's very, very flexible. So it makes life easier compared to you going to the market to buy a server to do your stuff. And you can do so many things there, networking, it's very huge. It's one of the biggest AWS service. So then we talk about SSH, SSH is just a secure shell. And what it does is that it's a network protocol that gives user administrative access to your resources, like your server. It's just like the name Secure Share. It allows you to connect in a secure way to like your server or any other services. It could be anything, over the public internet. And again, we're going to use what we call SSH clients, because what happens is, okay, when you launch your server on AWS, how do you connect with it? For example, you want to install something on your server, how do you make connection with it? And that's where we are using this SSH client. Yeah. So SSH client is just like a program. You install it. Everybody, we have to install it on our this thing. The common one they use is PuTTY for Windows. They call it PuTTY. I think it's capital T, PU, capital T. You can just download it over the internet. Again, I think by Sunday I will switch to a Windows computer so that I can show that, because PuTTY works with Windows. Then ITAM works with Mac. So, but there's a Git bash as well that you can download, which is very easy to use. So I think this class will use Git bash. So yeah, I will use Git bash to do the demo. And then, you will, then I will share the instruction on how everything works. You don't need to follow along for now. Just,
So
just watch.
The PuTTY and the ITAM, did they do the same work?
Yeah, the same work.
Okay,
the same work. Yeah, PuTTY is just for Windows. I can't use it on my Mac now. If not, I would love to use it for you guys to see. Then ITAM too. Yeah, ITAM is a little bit different though. ITAM is for Mac, only works with Mac. So, but this Git bash that I just showed now, I think it works for both Windows and Mac. So yeah, it works for both Windows and Mac. So we're just going to use Git bash. Then I will definitely want to show how PuTTY work, because it's a little bit different from other ones. It's a little bit different from Git bash and ITAM. It's very, you have to put things there, you have to enter those things. So I will show that when I get access to Windows computer. I think by Sunday, I will show how PuTTY works, because when you get on the job, sometimes, they ask you to log into the server, they say, okay, there are different ways to log into the server anyway, but, PuTTY is very cool, and, Git bash is very cool too. So yeah, but anyway, these are the, so that's what the SSH for, again, we are just connecting to the server that we launch on AWS. We want to see what is inside, okay, I want to install what application is very popular. I want to install in Microsoft Office, and of course, you're not going to install Microsoft Office on your Linux server, but anything you want to install there, you have to log into that server before you install it, because you are just looking at it on your computer, nothing, you don't know, you don't know what is there until you SSH. So the SSH is for, secure way to log in. And also it helps to, because it works over the internet, so it's kind of more like a secure way, whereby, if hacker try to interrupt your traffic or your connection to the server, SSH is a very secure way. So, that's what SSH is. And the client, again, the client is just an application. We are going to install it in this class. You see how it works. It's nothing distinct. That's SSH client. Then we'll be talking to the server from there. So this is the lab we are going to do today. We sign up on AWS. How many of you have AWS accounts in console? Anybody?
I have.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I do. I have.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know some of us are, ahead, you can just watch along and see. So we are going to create IMA, I'll talk briefly about IMA roles and policy, again, if you really want to know more about, all these things, just go and take all the explain detail, the theory part of it, everything. So then, we're just going to talk about IMA roles, policy, and other stuff, key pair, what they do, multi-factor authenticator, if you want to set it up, budget. This is very important, because I know we are very worried about our money, that, okay, will AWS charge us? So for the budget, yeah, I'm going to show how to set it up, how to set up a budget, such that if you are using too much, if you are using more than what you plan, AWS will alert you that, okay, you are spending money, like, I mean, for most of the parts of the lab, it will be free. You're not going to be charged by, I may not guarantee if they will charge you maximum, unless you just do something crazy, it shouldn't be more than $5 throughout the end of the lab. It shouldn't be more than $5 if they will charge, because sometimes we may need to use, there are some free, they call it free tier. There are some free services, like some server that are free, but at some point we may need to use a bigger server, like, with a higher capacity, and that one they will charge you a little bit, they charge in Kobo, again, they charge based on time, on how many times you use it. I think someone is trying to, yeah, they charge based on, sure. Yeah, so they charge you based on the number of usage, number of hours of usage, and okay, how many days have you been using it and stuff like that. So, most time, if you, like, for example, if you forget to, and that's why cloud is cool, you can just launch something, play with it, then you shut everything down. Like, okay, I don't need this server again, I don't need this, just shut it down. They're not going to charge you once you shut everything down. Again, most of the thing we'll be using will be free, actually, but again, it could be. So we will set up that budget to just see how it works, and you can just put some limit there, maybe $1. Then maybe by mistake, because it happens sometimes, you forget something, you do something crazy, and AWS is charging you immediately. They will alert you that, dude, you've gone beyond the budget limit that you set on the AWS. So, it's a very cool thing, and at least it will keep you in check. Some company, my company, when I check their distant usage of what they use in their resources, it's like, I think the last time I checked was a few months ago, they use up to like $50-something thousand in a month, to tell you how these people use all these resources. $50-something thousand a month, and it's just a development environment. I will explain what development environment is, but again, you are not a big company, you don't have to. So, but again, so we do all those things, then, so let's get our hands dirty, as they used to say it. So, inside, so the first place you go, let's try and create an account. I believe all of us have an email address. I just created this for this demo.
Wait, this is that like the regular account, or this is different?
No, regular account, regular Gmail. Yeah,
So I mean, like the regular AWS account that we can use to register the certification.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can use it to. I mean, for the certification, it's kind of different, though. It's more like Amazon. You have to, if you have Amazon account, maybe the one you use to buy stuff online and stuff like that. So I think you can use that for the certification. But for this console, for this AWS itself, it's different.
Okay, I don't have that.
I don't think so. So again, this is where you go. Again, I will send the instruction for the lab. All the lab that we do in this class. I will send the detail to you guys. This is how it looks like. I have an account. I can sign in there, but I'm not going to do that. So let me sign up. Let's see. Because I just signed in, it's telling me to. Okay. Okay. So if you go to create a new AWS account right here, so again, I will send all this instruction to you. So you just have to provide your email address. I just created this email. Let me see. So you have to provide this email address. Oh, sure. Let me just copy. Yeah. So again, you say this. You have to provide password. I mean, just normal regular stuff, nothing serious. Okay. I said the password is not too good. Okay. Account name, let's say Techdavez. So, just continue. I mean, just regular sign up on this thing, nothing serious. So here it's very important, you select personal, you don't, if you're a business organization, AWS, we categorize it differently. And I don't think you have access to the free stuff, So in the right, you can see here, they say always free. They have some services that are always free, and they never expire. So there are some free this thing, then there are some that are, free for 12 months. Of course, by 12 months, you wouldn't be doing much with your this thing. So, so there are a lot of free for a starter, free. There are some that are always free, never, no, doesn't expire. Then there are some of the services that, it's only 12 months that is the free period. So you enter your name here. Let me enter my name and then phone number. And then, let me see this one part. United States, enter address. Oh, I don't want you guys to see my address. I don't know. I'm scared. Okay, yeah. Let me just send.
There was a time I got a mail from this council that they want to offer me $300. Do they give people money?
On AWS?
Yeah, I got the mail from them. Like, they want to offer.
I don't know. I don't know about that. So that may be new. I don't.
So and now I applied. They said I'm not qualified. Sorry, next time.
Really? I know Google Cloud does that. So in fact, that's why I use Google Cloud. I was working on a project and I had to use Google Cloud will give you $300 credit upfront. So I think it lasts for 3 months, but I don't know if AWS has started doing it.
I got the mail from them. They're like, I should fill this form. I think those informations I put there doesn't make me qualified to get the money.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe you can try it. Maybe after you register it, they can message us to like again to apply.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I probably you know understand it.
Yeah, again, you have to enter your credit here. It's compulsory. You can't. Again, they don't charge. 100% sure they won't charge you. Upfront here. It's just if you use something you're not supposed to use. They charge you and stuff. I don't think I want to put my this thing here. So this is a recorded video. So, but I will send the instruction and everything to you, and to follow, and maybe I will do this video and edit it later on. So, but you sign up, you put all your credit information here. This thing you nest. Most of them are just.
And you don't put your own, sir. And you don't put your own, sir.
Put your own now.
Do as I do
Don't
as I say. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Don't do as I do.
You have to trust us, though. Yeah?
Do as I say. Don't do as I do. You have to put those information here. Just some of it, and what they will do, they will send you like a confirmation email that okay, welcome. This thing confirm it. You confirm it. You like again. I'll send the instruction, and if anyone is stuck, maybe you are signing up in the process. Just let me know. We can schedule a call. Briefly. I take a look, and again, that's part of learning process in this class. There are so many things, so many times you get into so many troubles, so many, this thing, and things are not working, then, you can be very frustrated. So, but this is very straightforward. You see, this is step 3 or 5, you just nest, and that's it. So it's very basic. So what I'm going to do now, since I have account already, I'm a root user, so I don't care. I use my root account. Here I will tell you more about the IMA user, when we get on the console. But now let me just sign in with my root user. Then you see how it looks like. So, but when you have when you sign up everything, you come here, you can just put your email next. It asks you for this thing. I don't always see it like that. I think it's NDFD23. Yeah, you just submit, then ask for password. I'm sure you guys can see that. Yeah, so yeah, so this is what it will bring to you, this is how it looks like in the console, this is AWS. Again, let me put this, maximize this. You see they have so many, you see the compute, the thing I was showing the other time, this is the compute alone, they have so many services, a lot that I don't even know myself. They do different things. These are database, this is the S3 bucket I was talking about for storage. You see a chatbot, they have different things. It's a lot. These are the networking, VPC, Route 53 is for DNS. I used this recently to launch my distance. So this is CloudFront. They have so many of them, it's a lot, you see. I think they have up to 200, each of them, it can take you, weeks to even like understand it very well. You see the monitoring, CloudWatch, everything is there. Auto scaling, this is very, very key too. And I think we can do a demo on that too, maybe on Thursday. Then, every day, so many services, and this is the console. Then anything you are looking for, you can type it here. If you can't go here and search that, okay, where will I find this? Just type everything, anything, S3 bucket, S3, just type it. It will bring it for you. Again, S3 bucket is a storage, just like you put stuff there. If I click on it, and I think it's free for most of the parts, unless you put too many. I have a few stuff on my S3 bucket. Some of them are code, some of them are just, you can save a picture there. You can put anything there. It's a storage system, so you can do so many things there. You can create, for example, if I want to create a bucket, I click on create bucket, give it a name. The name has to be unique. If you give a name that exists already, for example, if I give Kenneth, it will tell you that Kenneth already exists. Let me see. Probably not. So let's see. Let me just click create bucket here. Okay. Choose buckets. Okay. It's asking me to choose one of the buckets. But I don't want to choose buckets. Oh, choose bucket. Okay. So here, if we go to create bucket, you see, it's telling me that bucket name already exists. So, it has to be very unique. That's just what the point I'm trying to make here. It has to be very unique because it's a public service. You can access the bucket on the internet. You can access it anywhere. So it's a public service. So that makes it, the name will be unique. You can store object there. Let me just create one and see. Let me just put something that I will not get. So if I come down here, there are so many features you can do. There's versioning. Again, it's beyond the scope of this class. You can make it private. So it's a public bucket now. That means anybody can access it. There are some things you can do there. So let me just create this. You just see how S3 bucket work. Then where is it? Okay, this is the bucket I created now, right here. So if I click on it, again, bucket, just like the name, it's like a folder. You can put objects inside. So when you put stuff inside, those are, you can put like a file, you can put picture, music, anything. You can store it inside it. Code, they can put code there too. So right now you see everything is empty. So it's asking me to upload file. Okay, let me upload file in. So if I click on upload, add file, it will take me to my computer that, okay, what do you want to add there? I don't think I have anything to add. Let me just see. I can just put something there, so, and it will be there, anyone can access it. This is S3 bucket, again, very, very popular service on AWS. So, you can just click on upload, bam. So, you have it there. You see some company, they have, hundreds of stuff, on the S3 bucket. It's very, very useful. There are so many things. When you take the certification, there are a lot. They will, teach you more on S3 buckets, how they use it and stuff like that. So, so that's just by the way. So let's see. So let's go back to, again, at any point, you see this icon services, you can click on it, or you can just go here, type, okay, So again, one of the things we'll be looking at today. Okay, let's go to the budget first. So
yeah, let me ask question before you go to the budget, please.
Okay. So
with this S3 bucket, do you have to like choose the exact location that you are, or you can use anything? I can see like a different location when you.
Yeah. S3 bucket is a global service actually. When we start working on like EC2 and stuff like that, you see how we can. You see at the top right corner here where I see this global.
Yeah.
In S3, you see how everything is gray out.
Everything. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That means it's because it's a public service. It's not region specific. You see, S3 does not require region selection. Yeah. So there's some services are not like that. Like that EC2. And this is something I should also talk about on AWS Cloud. Different region, different for example, these are the region in the US. East, US East 1, US East 2, US West 1, US West 2. So you want to like, and that's one of the biggest thing in cloud. You want your application, for example, you have an application and your server is running maybe within New York area here alone. People in Germany, they will be having some latency. For them to access your website. If your server is only located here in New York alone, people in Germany, for them to access your distance, they will have a little bit difficulty. Like, they will be able to access it, but they will have some what they call latency, which is more like slowness. Like it will not load fast as people that are close to that server. You understand? So why AWS is cool and other cloud is that I can start my company or my application today and I will launch my server every part of the world. Like, okay, I want two in Europe, I want two in Asia, I want 10 server to be running in US. Maybe most of my customers are US based. I want 10 to be running in US. Then I have few of them in Europe. I would launch 2 in Europe, everywhere like that. So it makes things very flexible in terms of ability to do things. If you are just buying your server by yourself, you can never achieve that. You can't, like, unless you are very rich and you can be buying server and be putting people everywhere to do it. So those are some of the things why cloud is cool. And yeah, thanks for pointing that out to talking about location. But for S3 bucket, again, you don't need a location. It's a it's a public this thing. It's a global service. They call it global. Yeah. So talking about, let me briefly go to, so if you want to set up a distance, if you set up your account fresh, I will advise you to do the budget first. If you go here, you see the billing dashboard. I want you to see my billing dashboard. This I have so much basic there, so much debt. It's not that bad for the year. I shut down some of the service. I have $9. So this is, you have a very cool interface. They tell you what you are using, and I advise you to always come here, because sometimes you can make mistake, forget things, forget that you do not shut down maybe your server or this thing, or you are overusing some things. If you come here, they will tell you that, okay, now it's telling me that my EC2 is taking 39 cents. I can go back to my EC2 that, okay, what am I doing there? It's telling me that Route 53 is taking this, Route 53 is a DNS service. So that, I can go there and say that, okay, what am I using this thing? Why is it taking so much of my, so, this is a very cool place to always go. You just click on this drop down, go to billing, my billing dashboard, then you come here. Now let's create a budget, and you see how that works. If you come to the left here, you see budget. You can click on budget. So this is what you see. Then it will ask you can read all these things if you have time. I don't have much time. So you can click on create a budget. So if you click on create a budget, okay, cost budget, cost budget, of course, you can choose different options, but cost budget, click on set your budget. So you can give it any name or my budget. Let me just do let's say my budget,
Is budget
okay,
the same as billing?
yeah, billing, yeah, exactly. But budget, just like the normal budget, like, okay, this is what I plan to use.
Okay.
Go beyond that, let me know. Let me
Hello?
just show you. I will show you. Yeah, for period, just put.
Are we following you?
Yeah, you don't have to follow me. I will send the instruction after the class. Don't worry.
Oh,
Just watch for now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can leave it at monthly. Yeah. Leave it at monthly. Then recurring budgets, of course. Start month. You can say, okay, start this month. So fixed. So you want to have a fixed amount that this one, it's more like alerting. This budget is alerting. Then this where it gets more interesting. So you can choose that, okay, it's telling me that last month I used $44. I did some crazy stuff there. So you want me to set my budget to $44. So I will just put $1. Yeah, you understand? So I put $1 here. I mean, you can put 0.1 or whatever you feel like. So if you put 0.1, if they are charging you at all, they will let you know. So I put it there. Just come down, go to the next this thing that says configure threshold. And so if you click on that, actual cost, you can just say 100%, because it's asking you that what is the actual cost of what you compared to, I choose $1. So I'm telling you that 100%, if you go beyond that, it's not a percentage base. So you can do that. You can then, this is what this email recipient, if you can say this column here, you put your email here. I can say this is my email at gmail.com. So what happened is that once you go beyond, once you use beyond $1, they will send an alert to you. It's not like they will stop charging you. They won't stop charging you, but they will let you know that you have gone beyond the limit that you set on AWS. So they will alert you, and that's why this one is very cool. So they will alert you immediately that you've gone beyond what you set. So you can just click on create budget here. So then just view everything, nothing to change here, just confirm and create. So you create this bucket now. So what happened? It will be tracking your usage. So anytime you use beyond $1, I don't want to use beyond $1, but anytime if I use beyond $1, they will throw me an email that, okay, this thing is using more than $1. What do you so then you can run. Maybe you are at work or you are doing something, you quickly run to your phone or your laptop that, okay, what am I doing? What is going on my distance? So, and again, you can easily come to the billing dashboard again. Anytime it will give you detail of what you are using. This is very cool. It will tell you that, okay, this thing, like I said earlier, they have so many services, and like this now, I'm very close to $1 now. If I use a little bit stuff, then maybe I spend up another EC2, this will probably go to $1 in like maybe in an hour or two. So, and they will send me email immediately that, okay, my budget has gone beyond there and what I put there. So it's very cool to, make you, again, most of the lab will be doing, they shouldn't even charge you in the first place. So, but, it's good to set it up and, you know what is going on, because some people just wake up, they'll be like, AWS charged me $40, $80, then you want to cry, like, it has happened to me before, just see they charge me like crazy money. So, it's a very good feature to have. So again, another thing I just want to talk about is this, they call it multi-factor authenticator. Actually, I don't use it because it's my personal account. I don't feel I have to be super secure like that. I don't have much going on there, but it's more like a authenticator, multi-factor authenticator. For example, if you sign up on some websites, they will send a code to you to confirm it before you complete the signing up. So, or maybe each time you want to log in to something, they will send like a code to you that, okay, confirm that you are the actual person. So they call it multi-factor authenticator. It gives you, just extra layer of security on your AWS environment. I mean, if you have a lot going on there, it's advisable. But for me, I think the stress is this thing, but I can just show how that works. So again, if you click on this drop down on your name here, and you say that you can go to my credential, my security credential right here. Actually, you don't have to go. You're not going to use a lot of all these things like that, except all these few things. So, but this is my security credential right here. So you click on it. So it will take you to this page. So these are different kind of security you can do. Of course, the one we have now is password alone, but you can do more. For example, you are in an organization. You give access to a lot of people to use the AWS account, because in the company, it's not like everyone will have their account in the company. They will have like a central account they use. So they will just give access to each member to access the AWS resources. That, okay, this is your username. I will show you how to do that too in the IMA role, and how to create a user, allow the user to log into the AWS, So although in most companies, they use something more advanced than that, but you can do that, and you can create this. You don't want random people to just, email and password alone is not too secure like that. Anyone can easily. So you don't want to give too much room for chance. So this multi-factor authenticator is very strong. So if you click down on this thing, you see right now it's not activated. That's why when I log in, I just put my password alone, and it's let me go into the AWS. If I activate it now, I will show you what happened. So let me activate this MFA. So it's activated now. Then I'm going with this. You have different options. Actually, I've never used any of these two. This last two. This is the one you will likely going to use. So on your phone, your Android or your Apple phone or whatever, you can Google Microsoft Authenticator. Google Microsoft Authenticator. Sorry, not Google. Go to your App Store or your Play Store. For Android user or App Store, there are different ones. There's Microsoft Authenticator. There's Google. I think there's a Google Authenticator too. There are a few of them. Microsoft is very popular. I suggest you use Microsoft Authenticator. So you can Google it, you can put it on your App Store. Just download it. It's a very small application. So if you download it, you are cool. Just click continue here. You see what will happen. So it's telling you that once you download that application on your phone, I don't know if you guys can see my phone now. Let me see. I'm trying to see my Microsoft Auth. So, okay, let me see. Okay. I'm trying to just show my authenticator. Do I have to stop sharing? But it's basically when you download it, so you click on the app, it will, I think it will, yeah, you will see like a plus sign. You see a way you can add an authenticator. I have like two different this thing I use my own for. So if you click on that this thing, it will show like a camera to you. It will show you like a camera. Let me remove this. I think I already did this. Let me see. So you see like a camera that will prompt you. Okay, I remove this now. So you see like a camera that we want to show something. Once you download this authenticator I'm talking about, you see that plus sign on your phone. So then once you click on that plus sign, it will give you some option. You just click others or whatever. You are using Microsoft. Then it will give you like a camera. It will show like a camera, like you want to scan something. So you can click on this show barcode once you get to that camera. So you see this barcode, you just put your camera in front of it, your phone camera in front of it. Then you will see a code. You see a code running. So the first one you enter it here, it's a code that will time down from 30 seconds. So you can, my one right now is showing 843113. So I will wait for another code to come out. It generates random code every 30 seconds. So, if you don't enter code on time, another one will come up. So this one, because this is the first time I'm using it, so it want me to put 2 different code. So it's counting down now. It's giving me another number now after 30 seconds. So the other number is 935-149. So, I have the 2 number now, so I can say assign MFA. So close. So you are good there. So let me sign out and try to log in back. You see what will happen. So let me get out from my console now. So okay, then let me log in back again. So now let me put my email address. Okay, likes to have this thing. Sometimes I don't see what's right. MGN2MD. Okay, so okay, it's asking for my password now. So let me see. You see, the other time I just put my password and it let me in. You see what it's asking now? MFA code. So there's that app will bring another, will generate code every time. So you just have to open the app, see the code that's on it right now, enter it. If you don't enter the code, it will not let you in. So for example, if someone even gets your username, your email, your password, this one, it will be a little bit difficult unless the person have access to your phone. So it's just an extra layer of security. You don't have to do it, but it's just cool to know. And I don't have that this thing, so I think I'm just going to remove it. I don't always use it. So yeah, I'll just remove it. So, but so if I remove it now, it will not ask me for that code once I log in. But that's also cool to know. Another very, I got an email now that I removed it. They always encourage people to use it. So, let's go to so anywhere you are, you see this service. You can click down on it, you see everything you are looking for. So let's go to the most, the important one that we'll be working on, which is EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. The C there are 2. That's why they put EC2, very popular and very powerful AWS tool. So you can see this is what you would say. If I click on my stuff now, I have 3 server running. These are server, these are my server running right now. I can log into any of them. I have 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. So, I have different applications installed on them. That's why you see all these things. You see, so now this is a SonarQube Tomcat. This is a Jenkins server. So, I install stuff there because I was working on a personal project, So this is how my own look like. Your own, you will not see anything there, And if you see this instance state, I will just show you around what what it looks like. Then I will launch one of them. Then you see. Then you see this one says stop. I stop it because they are charging me. Now I stop it. No one is charging me. Everybody's happy. So that's why cloud is cool. I stop it. If I decide that, okay, I want to use this server again, okay, I can click on it, come to this instance state, start. It's just like you boot your computer, you punch your computer. These are just computers, these 3, but they are Linux computer, they are not Windows. You can't really see the dashboard and all the fancy things on the desktop. So, they are Linux computer. I think this is Ubuntu. I think the other ones are other this thing. So, but this are server, I can install anything, any application you can think of, I will install it on it right away. But again, the way we access this is different. It's not like you will enter, like you log into your real computer. It's we use the SSH and stuff like that. So this is my Jenkins server running now. So just showing you. I will launch one. You see the state now changed to running. So I know that this server now is running. If anyone access this server, they'll be able to see it. Matter of fact, I think I can access it. This is the public IP address. I know some of you may be familiar. I think I will take next class. I think I will add IP addressing and basic so that we understand what address. But again, IP address is just the how will I put it? Internet protocol address. That's the name. It's just we hear of IP every time. We change your IP to different distance. So every server, everything's on the internet have an IP address. So google.com have IP address, but what happened is that there's IP address Google use, which would be like a number like this. So, but what happened is that they have a DNS service, domain name server. So you convert it because unless you are very a genius, not everyone will remember 34.230. Every time you want to go to Google, you have to remember this number. So it doesn't work that way. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to be very visible. So what they do is that they convert these numbers, which are the IP address. There's private, there's public. Public are the one you can access over the internet. The private, you cannot access it. So they convert this number. There's a way you can convert it to a domain name like google.com, facebook.com. But in the back end, it's an IP address you are typing onto your browser. But your browser will interpret it. Once you put google.com, your browser know that you are going to this IP. So that is just the high level, you should see IP addressing like that. So I will talk about port number later on. So if I copy this now, and go to my browser and, do Control V, 8080, I will talk about port, the one I added at the end, that's the port number, what they call port number. If I enter it now, you see this is an application I install on this server. Jenkins is the name. If I come, oh, shit. So Jenkins is the name of the application. Where is it? Okay, you see, I name it Jenkins server. I install it on this server that's running. Let me put this thing down. Hold on. Okay, let me click on it. Okay, so this is the server that's running. I show running. You have the instance ID. You see this type. Again, I'll talk of instance type again. There are different type. This is small. This is a little bit big. There's smaller one. Depending on this, I think this have 2 CPU or 2 gigabytes of memory. Depending on the size you want, you can change it. So again, just showing you this is the application I'm running. I can log into it. This application is running on my server, just like a website. You see this this top here, it's like the website to access my server. Just that I don't have a domain name. It's not like a serious app. I can shut it down anytime. So I don't have to be buying domain name for that. So, but if I just put the IP address, the public IP address, you should be able to see it anywhere, in the world. On your computer, if you type this and put column 8080, you should be able to come to this, my application, which is called Jenkins. We're still going to talk about Jenkins later on. So this is that Jenkins running, you see all the stuff I've done there. So, but, that's not really important for this class. Just showing you, what EC2 looks like and, what you can do on the server. It can be a web application, it can be, a small app, you install it on the server. I will show, how to do some of all those things. But yeah, so some of the things, yeah, again, if let me close this, let me turn it off, let me stop it. So again, you see, I can just stop it, and that's it. They are just computer, nothing serious there. We're going to launch a fresh EC2 server, later on. So I stop it now, it's not running again. You can see here, show stopping, it's kind of going down. So some of the cool thing you can do, you see this instant type, it just show like the capacity. This is T2 micro, they are kind of little, depending on the size, and they are distant. Let me see, AWS EC2 types. I just want to show you all the types that are available and their capacity. So if we go to this place, there's a lot of them. You see the MAG, the T3, T2. If you click on this T2, you see this T2 Nano. It tells us that you have one vCPU, which is a virtual CPU, CPU credit. These are just the capacity of the instance. For example, you just want to launch small thing on your, just a little stuff you just want to do on your server. You don't need to use extra large, X large. If you use X large, they won't charge you like crazy. So, but these are capacity, and again, you can change it on the fly. unlike just like your computer, you have 8 gig RAM. Then, you have high demand. Maybe you have too many applications running on your computer. You just want to like increase it to like 34. You can't do it if you are using a physical computer, but on the cloud. Let me show you. Okay, this is my EC2 now. Right now, maybe I think that this Sonar Cube is too small for what I want to use it for. This server, I mean, I can name it anything. I put this name there. So I can go to action here, go to instance settings, then go to change instance type. You see this change instance type. If I click on it, it gives me option to choose, X large, everything, on the fly. Your application can be running. You can just pause it. Maybe you feel like, okay, this server need more capacity than what you have there. You can just say that, okay, yes, I need M. I'm not going to try this. These are very high. They will charge me so much money. So you can just say that, okay, I need, instead of T2, I think it's T2 micro. If I go to, let me just upgrade it a little bit, not that much. I will just say, okay, it's currently on T2 micro. I said this T2 micro is too small. Let me put it on T2 small, because T2 small is a little bit higher. Then I apply. Then immediately your instance will change. You add capacity to your computer just like that. You don't have to go to the market, buy RAM again, look for someone that will install it to you. The capacity has increased already. CPU has gone high, the memory has gone high. Those are some of the cool stuff about cloud. If you are running your server in your room and maybe initially you buy 32 gig RAM, then in the future you think that you need 64, you have to do it manually, go to the market, install it, put on the fly. Within 30 seconds, you can do it on the cloud, everything. So, those are some of the cool stuff, you should know. That's very important to know. As you can see, all my servers are stopped now. And, some of the things I also want to point out here. Any questions so far, please, guys?
Yeah, what you just explained, is it the same thing as balancing, or there's something, is it balancing that when there's load, it will come up, when there's load?
No, it's different. That's
Okay.
load balancing.
Load
And
balancing.
that's load balancing. And load balancing is okay. For example, now this Jenkins server that I showed now, it's just running on this single application, this single server. In the real scenario, real world, like maybe their web application to maybe on Walmart.com, the server that's running it might be up to like 300 server of this type that's running the same application. You understand? It could be 300 of this running it in those kind of big environment, or maybe some thousands, running the same application, because one of them alone cannot handle the traffic. So, what happened is that you have 500 of them running your application, let's just say 50, running the same application, which they call Jenkins, or maybe any application you can think of. Then there's a way you can set up what we call load balancing. It's also here, it's a little bit beyond there. I think we can demo that in the next class. So this is a load balancer right here. You can set it up such that it will balance the load across all the server that's running. That, okay, one of them will not be receiving traffic and the other one will just be staying doing nothing, So you will set a rule that, okay, spread the load across everybody, let everybody receive the same load. So, if this one is getting on Amazon.com, the other server too is supplying the same thing, you can set different things, or in some cases they do stuff like more like a part, for example, like Amazon.com. Amazon.com alone can be running on maybe 10 server. You configure 10 server to be launching Amazon.com. Then when you go to Amazon.com/buy, you can tell that one to be running on different set of server. Google Auth can also be used. Yeah, Google Auth. Yeah, I think I said that. Yeah, Google Auth or Microsoft Auth. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so you can do different rules on what's it called? on load balancer that, okay, spread the load across every server, do everything, very cool. Like, again, those are some of the things that make, cloud to be very good. And again, load balancing, just like the name, to balance load, but it's when you are running multiple server on the same application. For example, now, all these three of my application, these three of them, assuming they have the same application running on them, I can use a load balancer. I can go to, where's my load balancer? I can go to my load balancer, configure a target group. There are different load balancer application, network. Application is the most common type. You can use application, create it, it will ask for like a target group that, okay, what group do you want to like create for? It's a little bit, I don't want to go too deep into all those ones, a little bit more advanced into this thing. But yeah, but you can do all those things here, set it up that, okay, these are the, because what happened is, okay, if you are launching, if you install your application on, let's say 20 server on AWS, you only need one endpoint. Endpoint is where you want people to access it, like IP address. You only need one IP address, right? It's not like you, let me see. Let me hide this floating. Yeah, okay. You only need one IP address. Okay, you have all the server, everything running. You have another one. Everything. You have like 20 of them. Running on the same application. So, you need to balance load across all of them. You need to, this have to be receiving certain load. This have to be receiving. So, but what happened is that from end user would not know. They will only see one www.facebook.com. But what happened, there'll be load balancer in front of them. And you see this when you are taking, let's say this is load balancer. Let me just use this. Can I use something cool? Okay, let's say load balancer. Load balancer will kind of stay in a place like this, So it will stay in front of them. It will be the one to balance their load. Let me see if I can. Source, okay. Source. I don't know how to use this thing much. Okay. So sorry, I'm just trying to make things very clear. Yeah. So the so the load balancer will stay in front of them, and it will share load across them. So this load balancer, we only have one IP address. So this load balancer, this guy here is the one that I guys see my screen. So yeah. Okay, so this load balancer is the one, it will only have one IP address. So it's the one that we have, maybe google.com, So you as end user here, you will only be talking to this load balancer, you not know, you'll be talking to this load balancer that, okay, I want to access google.com. Load balancer will be like, okay, it will direct you to this server. You understand? So, another user come up, okay, I'm searching for another information. It will spread it, and that's how load balancer works in high level. They need it. It's very, very important. And again, cloud, you are using so much things at the same time. Company are running like 500 servers at the same time. So load balancer is when you have multiple servers running like that. So yeah, it's also very cool. There's one they call auto scaling as well. Yeah, I think I would demo auto scaling. Very cool features. On AWS. So let's see if we can launch an EC2 real quick. So yeah, again, your server will be very blank like this and stuff like that. You're not going to see all this thing there, most likely, because it's still new, fresh. So, we are going to launch a server now. So if you click on there, launch server, you can see it anywhere, launch instances, they call it instances on AWS. It's the same thing as server, EC2 instances, server, whatever, EC2 call it instances, or you can come here, you see launch. If you have another one, if you have one that's running already, so just click on launch instance anywhere you see it. So, now these are the options. this is the kind of computer I'm using. I'm still going to play with this and see, this is a Mac. You can see these are computers, different operating system. This is Linux, this is Mac, Mac OS, this is the version I'm using on my computer now. So you can see Ubuntu server, it's also Linux. You can see Windows server, these are server, these are window based. And what you notice here, you see all this free tier. Those are what you want to play with. If you launch anyone that doesn't say free tier, you will likely incur some cost. So always watch out for free tier. So you see this free tier eligible. So this is Ubuntu. This is another kind of server. This is a Windows server. These are deep learning. I don't know what that is. Debian, this is another Ubuntu, different ones, you sell those Windows, if you want to, they have a lot of them, so you just, once you click on create server from here, create server, in this class, let's just use Ubuntu, right? So we say that, okay, so you select, again, make sure you are within free tier for now, at least, So anyone you launch within this range, you are free, they will not charge you anything. So but if you launch the one that doesn't say free tier, good luck. So, I'll just say, okay, Ubuntu, this, whatever the version is, then I click select. Let me select it and see what it brings next. So again, you see this, this memory, the one I showed the other time. So it's telling me that, okay, what size, how big do you want your server to be? Do you want 32 gig RAM? I'm not crazy, no. So they will charge you like crazy if you, all those companies, these are what they launch, X large server, big ones, because that's what they care so much, they need it, So you watch out for all those free tier, there's a lot of them, bunch of them, C4, these are very, you see this 64 gig and the, CPU is crazy high, a lot, depending on your use case, depending on, as a single user, you don't need all this unless you just want to put yourself into unnecessary spending. But, there's a lot, cloud is very flexible. It's just a click, then you already launch your server. So we have to stay where we belong, free tier, as per brokers that we are not that, So I know some of you are very rich. You can try to launch C4 large, and tell me what happened. Yeah, but so once you select that, you make sure you click the right one. You can choose. You can only choose one, of course. So you click the next, configure this thing. It's asking you that, okay, how many do you want to launch? I can decide that, okay, I want to launch 5 of these at the same time. So, but no, I will just choose one. So there are a lot of options here. Most of it, we just leave it as default. This is VPC for networking. It's another a little bit advanced kind of sector of it. These are more like networking, where, so VPC, it's a little bit, again, this is IMA role. I think we should talk about IMA role too. This IMA role, for example, if you want your server to access certain services, maybe you want your server to get some information from S3 bucket, you have to create this IMA role, but for now we don't need it. So we just leave most of all these things as default. There's a lot of configuration you can do here, customization you can do depending on your use case. This is also very interesting stuff, Where is this guy going and coming? So yeah, this is also very interesting stuff. User data, for example, when we talk about scripts, I will show this too, but for now, let's just leave it blank. Then you click on next, you see it at the bottom, just be nesting, you don't really need to change much. Next, this is the storage, more like they call it volume storage, where you can store some of your application on the server. We can leave it as default, you don't need to change things there. You can make so many changes too. So you go to next again, tag. Tag is where I give the name the other time. So if you click on add tag, it's like this tag. If you click on add tag, so it will tell you that, okay, what do you want to name? I'll say name. new server or whatever. New server, just anything, then click on security group. Security group is very interesting stuff too. Yeah, next class we'll talk about that. Where you can leave it as default, for now, you see the SSH I'm talking about. If this thing is not there, you'll not be able to log into your server, and that's what makes SSH, the one, that's why I talked about it the other time. You see SSH is open now, it's open to the world. If you see 0.0.0/0, it's open to everybody. So, so there's SSH access here now. If this is not there, you'll not be able to launch your instance. I think I forgot something. Okay, no, not yet. So, so it's giving me all these options, so what again, then, you can just launch. But I do I configure? Hold on. Let me see. Previous. Trying to see my key pair. Let me give me key pair. Cancel. No, yes, I want to continue. It doesn't give me option to. We probably, in your own case, maybe because I've launched it before, maybe because I've because I don't think I'll be able to even access this. Okay, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Okay, now, so this is very, very important here. So once you just nest, most of the things you have to leave it as default, just keep nesting, nest. Once you select the server you are looking for. So here it's telling us that, okay, choose a key pair. Key pair is like a security, this thing, when you are launching your server on AWS, it's more like a security feature. It's like a file, they call it .pem file. It's like a private key. They call it like a key. So you must have it on your computer before you can access the server. I will show you how it works. So now I will create a new one. So I'll call it a name. You choose, oh no, I don't want to choose. If you click on this drop down, the first one, create a new key pair. In your case, this is what you see. Of course, you can proceed without it, but it's very important you do that, because if anybody have access to your server, they can do crazy stuff, and since once they have your, what's it called, your IP address, they will be able to log into the server. But with this key pair, what they call key pair, they will not be able to do that because it's extra. I will show you how that works. So let's create a new key pair here. So I give it a name like, let's say, okay, class 1. You have to download it. If you don't download this, matter of fact, it will not even let you proceed without downloading it. So you have to download the key, so you know where you download it to. So you give it a name, know the name you give it. It can be any random name, you can give it any name you want, but know the name, know where it's downloaded on your computer. So I'm just going to go ahead and download it now. It's downloaded. So then everybody is happy now, just click launch. Then you are launching your server. Your server is up and running now. To give you this, you can go down, you see view instances. So click on view instances. You see this is the server I just run. I don't know, this is confusing. This is the last one. This is the new one I just run. So, then I will show you how to go into the server and get and do stuff on it. So it's pending now, it's still coming up. Why pending? Let me show you where my stuff downloaded to. So this is the key pair that I downloaded. So let me show it on my computer, on my Mac. So if I go to download, so yeah, this is it here. You see .pem is downloaded. So it's right in this folder. You have to remember where it is. I mean, you can put it anywhere, maybe your computer download on desktop or anywhere, but just know where it is downloaded. So right now we have it under download folder in my computer. I mean, it could be your Windows. It doesn't have to be Mac. No one cares, yeah. So it's because we are working on the cloud. So but you have to know the location. It's very important. So let's try and log into the server and see what we have to do. So let me go back to this is my AWS again. These are my server. You can see the status here, you know, always look up for that. It's up and running. Once it's running, it will assign IP address to your server that you can use to access it. You see, if you go left, you see the IP address. IP address has to be unique every time. You know, it's always unique number, you know, the public one. So, you know, our server is up and running, you know, everyone is happy. But how do you get into your server? You know, you're just looking at it here. If you click here, you can't get into it. So that's where you use the SSH client that I talk about. So I already downloaded ITAM. You see it here. In your case, just Google download. It's not going to work on my distance. I will or just Google download ITAM for Mac, or maybe in your case, just download Git Bash. Is very easy to use. Git Bash. I think there's Git Bash for Windows. Let me download Git Bash so that because you will have better feelings of Git Bash. So it's the same with Windows and Mac. So let me just download this now. It's asking me to install it from the command line. No, I don't want to do that.
Please, I want to make a suggestion.
Okay.
Please, I think to make it more easier for us, like all those terminology, we need to understand like those Git Bash, those key pairs, all those keywords. I think it's going to have a better understanding of what you're talking about when you mention key pair. So we could like, okay, this key pair, this is what it's meant for. This is like, I think that will help.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I agree. Again, like I said the first time, you know, it will be a lot of learning curve. You know, it's something. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying as much as possible to explain some of what those things. Again, Git Bash, you know, just like I made mention from the presentation, it's a SSH client. You know, those Git Bash, ITAM or PuTTY, you know, dimension, you know, the SSH client is just something you use to you know, to access your server. Simple as that, you know, like something you use to. Let me show you how the ITAM look like. This is it. I just download it, you know, install it, and you know, why is this so big? Let me make it small.
Okay, so what you're trying to say, the Git Bash is more like a command line as well, right?
No, it's no, it's not. It's not like a command line. It's an application. You know, let's just put it like that. Like just like an application, a small app. You know, this is how it looks like. Once you download it, you see it like this. You see it. You see at the bottom here. You know, yeah. This ITAM. I'm trying to download
like a terminal.
Yeah, it's like a terminal. Exactly. That's a good word. It's like a terminal. You know, it give you, yeah, it's like a terminal, and it's very cool. It looks exactly like this ITAM, you know. So I will send instruction on how to download Git Bash and everything. So it looks like this, you know. Then once you launch it, it will just give you this. You know, it will just give you this, and you know, you can run command there, you can do anything there, but that's not even what we're trying to get on our server now, and let's see how that works. So if you let me go back to my AWS console. So this is my AWS again. My server is running, you know, everyone is happy, you know. Then this is, you need this, you know, you need the name. Matter of fact, you can log in different way. You don't have to. You can log in different way, but you know, let's use all those clients. So if you go to connect here, if you click on connect, you know, here make sure you select, because I have different server. You know, we are not interested in all this. Again, you can rename it anything you want here. It doesn't have to. You can even leave it with no name. You know, you are okay. You know, it doesn't. Or you can just click here, just like you rename your file. You know, and just give it a name you want. So it doesn't, the name doesn't matter, doesn't mean anything. So but make sure it's selected there. If you click on connect, you know, if you click on this SSH client, you see this thing we're talking about here. So if you click on SSH client, you know, you can just copy this. But there it is. So okay, you have to follow this instruction actually, especially if you are running it for the first time. So it's telling you that you change mode 400, you run this command, you run this command. No, you run this command, then you run this command. So, but the first thing you have to do is, so if you go to your item, you click on it, that, okay, the first thing you have to do, that thing we download, that key pair is just a key. Again, if you look at my download folder now, it's right here on top of it. You see it here, class.pm.pem. I name it class 1. It's in download folder. I know that, right? So now let's see what is going on with this item now. So if I press ls is just list. Again, we're still going to talk about all this command and what they do, but ls is list. So let me cd. cd is like, okay, you change, they call it change directory. Directory is like a folder in Linux folder. Right now, I'm just outside. I'm just like nowhere, I'm not in any folder. So if you want to now cd, they call it home directory. I'm in home directory now, So if you now want to like go into your download, because now you have to navigate to this folder, which is download folder, because that's where your key is stored. That's where we download this key. So you cd, they call it cd, which is change directory. Again, next class we do more of Linux. You understand some of all this command. Again, don't be hard on yourself. This thing can take some time for you to really be comfortable using it. I've been doing this for a while now. So you have to go into download folder. The folder that have your key pair. This, if you can see on the right, I have download, I have documents, I have desktop, I have application. The same thing you are seeing here, I have desktop, I have this, I have that, So, but now I want to go into download. Let me enter a CD download. So I enter it now. Let me list what is inside my download. It's ls, the command. So it's telling me that I have this file, this. And if you look at the terminal up here, if you look at my computer up here, I have this. It's very perfect, right? The same thing it tells me that I have here is the same thing that I say, So let me ls.f so that, you see better, these are the things I have on the computer, same thing, my terminal is giving me. You have to be inside that folder, you download your PEM, that's just the basic of all this thing. Let me clear this. So now I'm inside it, I can run. There are 2 commands they want me to run, If we go to our terminal again, one of them, we do a lot of copy and paste, you can go on, you don't have to worry, just copy it here, or just do this, copy. So now we are changing permission. When we talk about Linux, we talk more about some of these commands. This ch mode means change mode. It's like you are giving your computer a permission. You are giving the user a permission to this key, to this particular key. So if you don't run that command, it might not allow you to log into your server. So let me just paste it here. So I paste that command there, I enter it. So it's not going to show anything. So now the next one you have to enter is this particular one, this long one. I mean, you don't have to use that there, so you can copy it any way you want. This is for copy, or you can just select and just copy. I'm doing this copy, then let's go here, paste again. So, enter. So it will prompt you to answer yes or no at this point. Just type yes or Y.
Excuse me, Kenneth. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What you are doing on item, you can also do it on Git bash, right?
Exactly. The same thing.
Oh, okay.
The same thing. Yeah, no different. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why I couldn't just download the Git bash. It's the same thing.
Does item also works on Windows?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Git bash is okay. You don't need to have multiple there. One is okay. They work the same thing. They look almost the same way. Yeah. So the one that is a little bit different is that putty. I can show that when I have access to Windows computer. It's all basic. That one is a little bit different. The process is a little bit different from this to get access to it. But now you see, once you see this, we are inside our AWS server, which is EC2. Yeah, you see EC2, blah, 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 all these things. We are inside the server now. You can do so many things. What is this? So, you can do so many things. You can run apps. Let me just sudo. I think this is update. You can run a lot of command here. You can do so many things. You can, next class we are going to install stuff on it. Sudo install. Let me see, what can we install? Let me see, Nginx. Okay, no Nginx. Let me see, sudo install Apache. I mean, you can just, I can't think of any application we can install, but this is how you interact with your server. You can create a file here. You can say, okay, touch .tst. So you can do so many things. I just create a file that says that says hello.tst. Now you can create a folder, make dir hello. This is a folder. You can move stuff from one place to the other. I can say, okay, move my file, move hello.tst to hello. Again, we talk more on all this command. Now I move this file inside this folder. If I say ls now, it's gone now. This hello test is inside this folder. I can go inside this folder and say cd hello. So I'm inside this. If I say ls, I see the test. Again, we're going to talk a lot of detail because this is how we will interact with our server. Unfortunately, there's no, clicking. We install stuff there. You will see it. You will run all those. Some of them again, they are very basic, like ls, cd, pwd, echo. Echo is just for print. Echo.
Are these also Linux commands?
Yeah, these are Linux commands. Linux commands. Yeah, everything. Okay. Yeah, these are Linux commands. So we next class we talk extensively on Linux commands, especially the one that are very common because going forward it's Linux we'll be working with. But what I just want to demonstrate in this class is we launch a server, we are able to log into the server. This is our AWS server running. I don't know where this. Okay, let's allow. So this is our AWS EC2 that's running. Now, if I shut down the server, you see that this terminal will go. Let me just go and shut it down. That okay, maybe it's taking too much of my money or I don't just need it again. I just go here that okay, terminate. I don't even want to stop it. I want to terminate it completely. So but make sure you are selecting the right one so that it doesn't terminate all your server. It's terminating now. So if I refresh it, you see shutting down. So if I go to my terminal, let's see what happened with this item. You see it kicked me out already. It said closed by remote host connection. So it kicked me out. It takes me back to my computer. This is just my computer download folder where I started off. You see, this is where we were before at the top. Once I shut that server down, it kicked me out. Then it takes me all the way to this point, back to my computer again. That okay, we are done. So basically, this is just the summary of how AWS environment, how to log in, how to SSH, all those stuff. So yeah, if I will send the lab, the one we did in the class today, I will send it to you guys and the the instruction, everything. Then also the recording video too. I think I will share it if anyone wants to take a look. I think it's just long and boring. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, but I know it's a lot of information. Again, don't be hard on yourself. It's it's I mean, nobody's born with this thing. No one, literally. Yeah, that's just the plain truth. No one. Everyone have a day one of starting. it's, I mean, someone like me, I know how long it takes to, figure a lot of things out and stuff. So it doesn't, you, before you know, you do it a few times, you know all those stuff, yeah.
I hope so, because everything is still looking like magic now.
Yeah, I think
honestly, I know.
I need to do hands-on, honestly.
Mr. Kere, I think you are a bit diverted. We don't from there. We just jump to all this you are typing. I think maybe if we check the video, we understand it again, Shabo.
Okay. Which area are you talking about?
Like I jump to item, KPI, gig bag, everything just like
exactly everything just like mix up. Like
no.
No, I just feel like
we figure it out. Once we check the video, we will watch it and see.
Yeah. Take a look. But what happened is that we launched the server. You understand that part? We launched the EC2. We launched EC2.
I remember there's one part you said there is this IP that if you want to check the IP, we download the item. So that's when you use your MS DOS. Is it MS DOS when you use your LS as the list?
Yeah.
It's complicated.
No.
Okay.
What happened is that, again, I'm just, this class actually, I'm not like I said, we're still going to talk about all those LS, in detail, we show how everything was. Matter of fact, I will still go back to all this Git bash, with you guys. I will send the instruction, then, I want you guys to attempt it first. Then, you have problem, hit me up, even before the next class or even at the next class, we can go over it again. It's just that all those items, just forget about the name. It's just, it's just an application that allow you to access your server,
Okay.
It's just an application you download on your computer that you can talk to your AWS server that's running. Without that, there's no way, you see, this is what you just be looking at. These are the servers that we launch, AWS will just give you IP address. You understand? It's because they all stop now. If they are running, you see this IP address. And that is what you need to access the server. The public IP address, yeah. So, and with the key pair too, I think we will demo it again. I shot this down already. Next class we'll launch another one. But I want you guys to try it on your own. Create an account. It's man. In a few weeks from now, you look at this thing. You'll be like, this is very easy. So, but it's a new word, new this thing to you guys. So it's very understandable. It might look like it's this thing there, there's nothing there. Yeah, but again, don't be hard on you. Give yourself time, practice, do stuff. You can access, anyone can access all these things. You don't have to have 5 computers together. Just log in.
Stay hard though. I say stay hard though. I join my people talk more.
Professor,
it's still hard though, Baba. Come down to our level.
Like everything.
I would like to say one or two things. Actually, it might look like it is hard. Although to me, all what he's doing, CDLS, they are not new to me. The first day I also took a course like that. It was just like magic. I was just looking at